to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power.
And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
They both hit hard. Because and you can see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith discuss Canelo vs. Crawford matchup. Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith took a deep dive into the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Stephen A. is picking Crawford to win, but he's not calling it a walk in the park. He emphasized that Crawford needs to be smart in the ring and avoid getting too caught up in trading punches. Stephen A. brought up a key point made by Gervonta Davis, that if Crawford tries to go toe-to-toe too often, he could end up in serious trouble. Canelo's size and power are natural advantages, and Crawford can't afford to ignore that. Instead, Stephen A. says Crawford's best bet is to use his quickness, sharp defense, and high boxing IQ. In the end, both analysts agree, this fight won't be decided by brute strength alone. Strategy will be the real game changer.
Greatness. And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight.
Max Kellerman weighs in. Skill versus size. Max Kellerman adds another layer to the conversation by pointing out that Terence Crawford seems to have the sharper overall skill set, giving him a clear technical edge. But he also reminds us not to overlook Canelo Alvarez's toughness. His strong chin and naturally bigger build give him the upper hand in physical exchanges. Still, Max notes that Canelo hasn't looked quite as sharp in his recent fights. While he's still a powerhouse, there are signs he may be slowing down just a bit. In the end, Max frames this matchup as a classic case of timing versus toughness, Crawford's precision and skill going up against Canelo's size and ability to take a punch.
Great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who? I would assume Canelo has the.
You'd have to think, unless Crawford, Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov.
Antonio Tarver weighs in. Crawford's biggest test yet. Former champion and respected boxing analyst Antonio Tarver is backing Terence Crawford in this matchup, but he's not downplaying the challenge ahead. Tarver points out that Crawford has already shown he can dominate across multiple weight classes. Still, he believes this fight is a whole new level of difficulty. Tarver calls it Crawford's toughest test yet, and at the same time, he says Canelo Alvarez is stepping into unfamiliar territory too. In Tarver's eyes, both fighters are facing something they've never quite dealt with before.
Tarver's take, I'm Bud County all the way, but this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which on September 13th.
Antonio, I appreciate your time. Safe travels back home.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio.